How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another edition of the College Football Show tonight with Alec Peccato. We will be going over Auburn's schedule today, Auburn Tigers football schedule today, along with me giving you their wins and losses for this year. Their win total is set at 7.5. Why don't we give a look at their schedule and I predict and give you their record for this year? So they start up the season at home against Alabama A&M. I think they beat, and their win total set at 7.5, by the way. But they start the year at home against Alabama A&M. I think they beat Alabama A&M. I don't think the Alabama A&M Auburn game is going to be much of a game. I think Auburn is going to wipe the floor clean with Alabama A&M, so they start 1-0. Then they get somewhat of a test in week 2 against Cal. Now, do I think that Cal will beat Auburn? Maybe. But for right now, I'd feel more confident giving Auburn the win. So Auburn is now 2-0. Then they get New Mexico at home in week 3. Now, last year, they lost to New Mexico. And I think it was at New Mexico. I think they get revenge this year on New Mexico. And they beat New Mexico, so they're 3-0 to start the year. Then they get Arkansas at home. I think they beat Arkansas. I think Arkansas is not particularly going to be good this year in the SEC. I think they cream Arkansas and beat them really bad. So they're 4-0 to start the year. Then they play their second conference game, and it's against Oklahoma. I think this is where Auburn takes its first loss of the year. So they're now 4-1. They go to Georgia the next week. And I think we all know how this game's going to go. Georgia is going to beat the brakes. I do think Georgia's going to be really good this year. And I think Georgia beats Auburn. So Auburn's now 4-2. Going into their bye week, they come out of their bye week. They play at Missouri, at Kentucky, Vanderbilt at home. Now, is there enough chance here that they go 1-2? Yes. But I think the more likely scenario here is they go 2-1. They lose to Missouri, so they're 4-3. But they beat Kentucky and Vanderbilt, so they're 6-3 going into their second bye week. They come out of their second bye week at 6-3, and they play ULM at home. I think they beat ULM to get to 7-3. Then they lose to Texas A&M 7-4, and I think they beat Alabama. I think they do. So they finish. They go 8-4. My record prediction for Auburn this year is 8-4, with their losses being to Texas A&M, Mizzou, Georgia, and Oklahoma. And we're now going to see if we can find Auburn's roster. Roster 2024. No, not basketball. I wanted football. So, 2024. No, I don't. Question, but it's yeah. That's okay. Good. So, going into camp, Auburn has a QB battle going on between Peyton Thorne, Walker White, and Hank Brown. I'm going to get a name nobody's talking about to watch for the QB job for later on in the season. And that would be Holden Grenier. Holden Grenier, sophomore out of Savannah, Georgia. I think he is a guy you need to watch for later on in the year for Auburn if any of these three guys struggle at quarterback. But who do I think is going to start? I think this is Peyton. This is the updated roster, by the way. Yes, we're going to go by list. I think this is senior Peyton Thorne. I think this is his job to lose. As I said, the quarterback battles between him, Hank Brown, and Walker White. I think Peyton Thorne wins this job, but if he struggles at all, one bit, I think you will see either of the two youngsters. And Hank Brown, who is a, quote me on this if I'm correct. Okay, but Burton. Walker White is a freshman. So you might see him if and Hank Brown is a redshirt freshman. So you might see either freshman Walker White or redshirt freshman Hank Brown if Peyton Thorne struggles. And if those two guys struggle, Walker White or the other guy I talked about, Hank Brown or Walker White, if they struggle, Holden Grenier might be an option at quarterback. Now let's go through the other part of let's go through the other parts of the roster for Auburn and see where I think you have potential for guys to have breakout seasons. We're going to start at wide receiver, and I'm looking at five-star true freshman wide receiver Cam Coleman. I know that everybody's going to say, look, he's not necessarily a guy that you would think wouldn't break out as a freshman. I think he will. Because he's a five-star. He chose Auburn over a bunch of other big schools. And there was a couple SEC teams that wanted Cam Coleman. So I think he has a really good freshman season for Auburn. The next guy I think might have a breakout season is sophomore wide receiver Caleb Burton III from Austin, Texas, Lake Travis High School. I have watched immense amounts of film on Mr. Burton. He's a efficient route runner, and he gets out of his breaks fast, and he knows how to catch. Now we're going to go look at one more spot on offense, and that is, I'm guessing, at tight end. I think the breakout the other part of the offense I'm going to look at is tight end. And I see a breakout here for sophomore Rico Walker. He didn't really get a lot of production last year, but I think he has an uptick in targets this year for Auburn, and I think he has a really good season. He's at a Hickory, North Carolina, Hickory High School, sophomore. Now we're going to go look at the defensive side of the ball. And I'm looking at safety Caleb Wooden. I don't know if Caleb Wooden's going to start, but if he does, I think he's one of the best players on the defensive side of the ball this year for Auburn. And the other guy I'm going to talk about on defense that I think is in store for a big season in 2024 for Auburn is defensive back Champ Anthony. Personally, my favorite name to say at Auburn. No question. He is from Fort Worth, Texas. Trinity Leadership High School in Fort Worth. Again, another guy that I've watched extensive film on, and I think he's in store for one of the best junior seasons in college football coming up. Champ Anthony is a guy I think that's going to break out for Auburn in 2024 on the defensive side. So on the opposite side, it was Cam Coleman and Rico Walker. On defense, it is Champ Anthony and Caleb Wooden. So those are your four guys. 2 offense, 2 defense that I think are going to break out for Auburn this year. Stop sharing. So, bottom line is if Auburn, the other thing with Auburn is if they can stay healthy, I think they have a really good chance of making the SEC title game. And I'd like to hear y'all's opinion. I'd like to hear the opinion of my supporters here on YouTube. I'd like to hear y'all's opinion down below in the comment section on my record prediction for Auburn, my breakout players, and my stance on how I think Auburn can be good this year as long as they stay healthy and don't have any guys get kicked out the team for doing anything stupid. And Hugh Freeze can help Auburn get to new heights. But that will do it for me tonight. Wait. Time out. Pause. Before I leave, before I sign up for tonight and say see you on Thursday, we offer memberships here at the College Football Show with Alec Pecano and the Sports Talk Podcast with Alec Pecano. They start at 99 cents a month. You could try it free for 7 days. And then if you don't like it, all you do is cancel. And I also offer merchandise, but we are currently, me and some of my, I'm currently working on fixing up the merch. So the merch store is currently not out of service, but it's currently getting updated, revamped. So is the description for my YouTube. So if you see that's still the same, I'm still currently working on that. Everything should be fully revamped and updated by the end of the week. But YouTube, that does it for me tonight. That does it for this episode of the College Football Show. I'll see you back here on Thursday for another episode of the College Football Show. Have a lovely rest of your night. And if you have any questions about college football, NFL, NBA, hockey, I think I said MLB. My Twitter is the Alec Pecano. And then my Instagram is Alec Thomas Pecano 24, which you see is my name on here. Follow me on either of those and DM me, and I will answer your question. And also, you can leave your question down below in the comments, and I will get right to it after the show. But have a great rest of your Tuesday night. We will see you with more College Football Show episodes on Thursday. Have a great rest of your night.